Good evening, everybody. I was just playing with Indian drum. It's not as big as it looks there. There's a relative proportionate size, but this was kind of interesting because when I moved, I got this out of the box sometime after, and I thumped on it, and it was like tissue paper, just had nothing. It's been hanging on the wall over there for a year, and I picked it up the other day and thumped it again, and wow, it was there. Hang on, let me turn the lights on here. There we go. How's everybody? Gonna do a little pray rain real quick. As I tip this back over, a lot in there. You hear the sound. Think of that many blessings flowing into your life. And there's more. And there's more. Isn't that a beautiful thought? Let's do it one more time. Seriously, just think of the universe wants to bless me this much. That's so cool. Well, Nancy, I'm going to join you. Oh, glad you guys are here. I'm going to do the hellos real quick, and then we'll talk about a couple of wins here. Hey, this is Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. You're with us tonight. It was her birthday last week. That's my friend Cheryl in St. Augustine. Melissa, hope you're doing well. Hey, Brandy. Alyssa. to Tuesday night, The Meditative Astrologer on YouTube, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Almost slipped and said 7:30. 8:30 Eastern. Alyssa does a meditation kind of around astrology. And so if you guys want a, you know, Tuesday night, you can't get enough. She's got a great one. Hi, Nikki. Hey, Tom, glad you're in here tonight. How are you guys doing? Hope all is well. Nancy, Kristen, they're half step off. Arnaldo, welcome back. We had the time change last week. Glad you're here on real time. Hey, Chet, my buddy down the road. Hello. Hey, Darren. Darren was in Joshua Tree this week. Oh, Brenda will send you some energy. In fact, we're going to command here in just a second. If you want to command the headache, join us. Stacy, man, we get the rock stars here tonight. I got to see who these other Facebook people are. Oh, Patrine. That was Patrine. Far out. Heidi from Madison. Let's see if I can get Heidi up here. Yeah, there's Heidi from Madison. That is Nina Marie. Yeah, those Facebook things, you gotta. Wow. Okay then. Wow. Would you pass that around? I'm sure there's more than one in here who would appreciate that. That's just too cool. You don't have a headache, you got a money problem. Where are you gonna spend it? Oh, this is great. So Valerie, thank you for sharing this. She, brought on a dozen new writers in less than a week from a simple insight that the universe dropped in her path. That's too cool. Melissa Gronzo had a, yeah, um, it's in the post in Facebook, but she had a real breakthrough in her relationship this week that she has been standing for. So, and that was on Monday, the day after we did this last week, this new focus. So that was really cool. That was awesome. I brought some things. I was going to put another sweater on. It's cold down here, but I'm not that cold now. I was going to put the hat on, and I had some sage spray over here. And what was just there, I brought this down and I thought I'll use it if it's there to use it. So I got the sage spray out, and I'll tell you what was there is don't use it tonight as unified intention together. We're just going to intend anything that would be here that is uninvited away. We're going to command it away. So let's just practice that right now. If you have a candle, if you have sage, if you have anything, great. Crystals, fantastic. I'm going to do it verbally, and we can all join together in this. So our unified intention is that we are going to use our power as co-creators. And I'm going to talk about this here in just a second. In fact, let me do that now, if you guys don't mind. Let's just do this real quick, because Fred's book about clearing entities came up about 3 times in conversations over this weekend for me. And I wanted to point to this because I know a lot of you want to live on your highest timeline. And this is a highest timeline book and audio book. I have narrated it. And it talks about the presence of entities in our world, the reality of them, and how frequent they are, and divides them into basically 2 categories, 2 types of entities. One is, um, the peskies, but they're not that strong, and then the other is, demons, basically, and how to deal with each of them, and how to use a clearing technique, and the clearing technique is also basically the healing technique. So you kinda get 1 you get 2 for 1 here, really, and it's, to me, was a very impactful book, and I think these presences, these entities are a lot more present now than we realize, and it just keeps coming up. And the other thing I wanted to mention, this is the audiobook cover that I just realized I haven't made it that clear, but my arrangement with Fred is that I get paid as books sell. Um, it's been amazing. It's been an amazing relationship, and it's given me freedom. But just so that you know that I get royalties, Fred has been incredibly generous with me. More generous probably than he should have been, but, we've developed quite a good partnership, and those royalties help support the work here and keep me going. So, just so you know that, and that's when I mention those things, it's not like, I mean, it is ongoing, so tell your friends, pass it around. So let's do this. In particular, what he points out in the book is that we can purge our own lives on a regular basis. Like entities feed off of our energy. So it would not be out of reach that when we create this group energy that's been so high, that entities would come in and try to suck off of that. They basically are like, like if a human was addicted to sugar and you went into a convenience store, wow. Well, entities are addicted to, or they feed off of, human energy. And when we create it and they go, wow, look at that group, well, then we're going to shoo them off. And that's the reason that we do the sprays and everything, but we can also do it verbally. So let's be like minded that whether there are entities being pesky with our own energy, or entities that might be coming into the group energy through the electronic means, which is wide open, let's intend that they are not part of our meeting. All right. Now, when we get finished, you can do with them whatever you want, but at least for the next hour. So let's together command, you can do it in your own way. But I say, on behalf of all of us, anything that does not represent love, healing, expansion, manifestation, and the very highest energetic, spiritual, soul based timeline for each individual on this recording or watching it after it's over. Anything not of supporting that, encouraging that, and loving that must leave right now out the door. Go. You are no longer invited. You are no longer welcome. You must leave the presence of this meeting now. In the name of the Most High, you are commanded out. And so be it. Do not come back while this meeting is ongoing. Out. Leave this meeting alone. And we now command together free, clear space for healing and manifestation for this level up tonight. Amen. I felt a real surge of power. Wow. Man. Whoa. Hey, you guys, glad you're here. Kenyon, my little boy. Um, let's see here. Let's see, I guess I better work top down. Let's go back to here. Joining a conference. Oh, look at that. There's our August group still on Susie's little thing there. That was our August group taken up on Water Rock Knob. Oh, I know. It's been cold here. Today was 34, a sunny day, but I didn't go outside all day. Yes, day before equinox. Good for that. Yeah. Yeah. They're everywhere. They're like little parasites. Just get rid of them. This is cool, Melissa. This is really cool. So Vision's younger of driving things away. Wow, that's pretty incredible. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, now we have quite a few wins in the Facebook group. So if you are a member of the Facebook group, you can go in and scroll through just this week's posts and you'll see and some of the comments, read the comments there because you'll see some things that people have commented on of um, things that showed up this week that they intended from last week's session. So we are already on a roll here. And I love what one person said that they created um, cleaning up her farm. Said she lived on a farm and that she bumped into a friend at the grocery store. And I guess what she implied was that he had some goats that needed a pasture and she had a pasture that needed to be cleaned up. So she said she was happily enjoying watching these goats eat the blackberries in her pasture. And she said, wow, it was really cool to see how this works. So that's a major win. And I love that. So, yes, boom. Ah, that's fantastic. So if you have any others, in fact, even if just a sentence or two that you wanted to drop in here about some kind of a win that you had this past week, that's part of the process we're going to talk about very briefly tonight. And then we're going to get right on into our manifesting. I did. Is Esmon on here? I haven't seen if Esmon's in here yet, but I did pull some cards from our Light Seekers deck. And I know that probably keys out, doesn't it? It sure does. Well, then we'll put it on a background that it doesn't matter that it keys out. How about that? All right. I did these before because I have a process. When I do cards, I've been very unconventional from the very beginning, and it's always worked. This is what I did in Eureka Springs when I drew the same card 4 times in a row after massively shuffling the deck. It was the solar plexus card from Doreen Virtue's Angel Oracle deck. And it basically says it's time to step into your power. So 4 times. Do I have your attention now? But what I do is I shuffle the deck 3 times and then I cut the deck. So the top third becomes the bottom, and then the next third becomes the middle, and then what was the middle becomes the top. And that's just how I do it. And then I lay them all out if I can. And this Light Seekers deck is thick. And you see how thick that is. So I don't have room in here to lay them out on my desk. I could, but it would be meticulous to organize it. So I get down on the floor and I spread them all out. It's over my full width of my arms area. And then what I do is I just wave my hands over. And this is basically what the lady at the Eureka Springs bookstore told me to do, just like hold the deck. She said, hold the deck and see which one calls to you. And then I just feel. And I mean, I'll feel drawn. And when I shuffled the deck and put them on the floor here before the meeting, this was for all of us. And I was asking, my intention was, this is card pulls for our group, our family tonight. And I was really connected to family. And I mean, right in front of me was just this energy ball. And that was the first card that you'll see here in just a second. And then I run my hands over the deck. And as I feel it, and I just hone in on that spot, and then boom, I put my finger down on a card and I slide that one out of the deck. And that's the next card. And then I say, are there more? Do you have more? Is there more to say? And if there is that energy, then I do it again until it runs out. I've never done, I think, more than 5. Usually it's about 3, and then that's it. And when there's no feeling and I go across and there's just no energy waving back up, I'm not feeling anything, then that's it. So here was the first card. You guys are going to love this. The Ace of Wands. I will put these in the Facebook group after we're finished. The Ace of Wands, and I'm not, just for the sake of time, because I have 3, we'll keep this. New ideas. What have we switched to on these things? The seed of potential, the arrival of inspiration, illumination, intense creativity, the mirror-like nature of consciousness. Oh, the mirror-like nature of consciousness. I don't have any more to say. What are you putting out? The interconnectedness of all things. The ability to manifest anything. Is that not incredible? The shadow sides of this card: feeling uninspired, creative blocks, the mind needing rest, unfocused energy resulting in burnout, a time to bolster your faith in yourself. And let's see, she is connecting you with the one cosmic mind, universe consciousness, and her delightfully magical soup that is brimming with colossal creativity. A flame here that is meant for you, but has not been put to use yet. What will you create with this boundless potential? Wow. All right. And then the next one we'll just let stand for itself. Very obvious. Strength. The Strength card. Look at how the clouds in her card are becoming the clouds in our background. Isn't that cool? Look at that. That's too funny. That's great. Love it. Yeah, strength. So we'll just say a big part of what we're even going to focus on tonight is strength. And then the third one was interesting. And this is going to key right on through. Cups. 5 of Cups. All right. So the 5 of Cups is grieving. That's not a happy girl, right? That is not a happy. She's not happy. Disillusion, disappointment, betrayal, bitterness, wallowing, self-pity, signifying a broken heart. Here was something that I thought, that's the positive side of this card. Remember, the cups are more negative cards. The shadow of this is not letting go of past trauma, not letting go, crying over spilled milk, rooting deeply into shadow work without healing and letting go, old stories that become part of you, callousness, becoming jaded. The idea of the description in this, and I will post it for you to read later, is wallowing into self-pity. Don't allow the life force, your life force, to drain away with the things you once loved. And I'll tell you, the theme of kind of what's going on in the energy in the world right now is similar to that, in that we are going to have to let go of the past, because that will be what keeps us from moving forward into this. This week is a big energy week. Tomorrow, the sun moves into Aries. It is the March equinox. Tuesday, we have a new moon. The moon moves into Aries in the morning. We have a new moon. I forget what time it is. Thursday, Pluto moves into Aquarius. And Saturday, Mars enters Cancer. And I know everybody is like so happy that Mars is no longer going to be in the divided twin sign of Gemini. but Robert and I recorded something on it, and in fact, it is the current podcast on Old Soul, New Soul. So if you'd like to hear his thoughts on Mars entering Cancer, it's already up. Now, I found something really cool. This is going to be Tuesday's Fun Astrology podcast, but you guys always get the early glimpse at these things. I found something really, to me, very significant and very interesting. So I was thinking about Thursday when Pluto crosses into Aquarius. First of all, it has not done that since all the way back to 1777. That was the first time. But we know that it takes 5 times of Pluto crossing into Aquarius, then going retrograde back into Capricorn, moving forward back into Aquarius, going retrograde back into Capricorn, finally turning direct and entering Aquarius for good November of next year, 2024. So when we say that it's entering Aquarius, it's entering 0 degrees Aquarius, but for the next 20 months, it's going to cross 0 degrees Aquarius 5 times, the bottom line on this little graph. 5 times. So I thought, I wonder if that's a pattern. So I started walking back. And then I thought, well, go all the way back to last time. Last time Pluto entered Aquarius, 1777, the United States was about, it was April, so it was about 9 months old, the United States of America, since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The Constitution had not even been ratified yet. 5 times it took Pluto to enter Aquarius over a 20-month span, exactly the same number of times that it will take this time and number of crossings. What happened in 1777? Well, the Revolutionary War was already underway, 2 years in, and it lasted until 1783. And then there were all the firsts for the United States, things like the first president, the dollar was established. We're certainly focused on the dollar right now, aren't we? The first United States bank was opened in 1791, the stock market in 1792, the U.S. Post Office, the French Revolutionary War, which involved all of Europe, basically, also happened under this aspect. So 2 big major wars in the world. The first newspaper was established. The cotton gin was patented by Eli Whitney. The steamboat was first tested on a river. So all of these firsts, well, I kept looking. So let's bring it back to modern life. So basically encompassing everybody that's alive today. 1937 is when it first started to move into Leo. Same pattern, 5 times over 20 months. What happened in 1937? World War II. And then after it, of course, the atomic bomb that ended it. And then after it, we rebuilt Europe and Japan. The United States did. And then I thought, we had Operation Paperclip there too, where Nazi officers were redistributed between Russia and the United States. Also, the Korean War started under that one. Then we had 1956, 5 times over 20 months, Virgo. Well, what did we have there? Korean War still going on. But what that set up was basically the Vietnam War began in the early 60s. The era of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, music shifted big time. There was immense rebellion. We killed a president. We killed a civil rights leader. We killed another presidential candidate and brother of the president that we had killed. We went to the moon, and Watergate happened under that piece of Pluto and Virgo. Then came Libra. And if you notice, 1971 Libra 3 times, 1983 Scorpio 3 times, 1995 Sagittarius 3 times, and Capricorn in 2008 3 times. So for the last 4 times, it's only taken 3 crossovers over about half the time. And There were obviously the big pivotal thing that we would stick in there would be 9/11 under the Scorpio, and Scorpio had a lot of death in it, actually. The collapse of communism, the death of communism, the AIDS virus, Chernobyl, the Challenger explosion, and then 95 basically were changes, but the Oklahoma City bombing was the big thing, and then the Persian Gulf War. I mean, there were wars, but I would say that when Pluto made 5 times over 21 months, the events in the world were bigger than they were when it only took 3 times to change signs. And this time, of course, being 5 times in 20 months. So the other thing, just open about this, since about the middle of the week, I've been feeling uncharacteristically down, not tied to anything, can't identify it. Um, so I'm just, and then sitting with this energy and realizing what's coming this week. And then I have been looking at the astrology, and, there are ways that it can play out, but there are some challenges in the chart. There's no doubt about that. So I don't know. I don't know where that. And the other thing that I don't do with these things is I don't run from them. I learned that from Fred. When that kind of energy shows up, don't push against it. Don't try to run from it. Don't make it wrong. It's there for a reason. Either something needs to come up, something needs to change. Maybe it's a early alert system. Um, but I just sit with it and then try to neutralize it without removing it. So it's like, okay, if you want to be here, um, yeah, I've got work to do. Sorry, you'll have to excuse me while I get over and get busy. But uh, okay, any messages? I sat this morning for over an hour, just kind of with my journal. Nothing came up. If Wednesday and Thursday and maybe into Friday was about a 7 or an 8, today it was about a 4, 3. So, okay, just holding it and being open to whatever the message is or whatever the change is. But I don't try to run from. I don't try to fix it. I don't try to. It's like show me, and then we'll take the appropriate action. It's like in medicine, you can't treat until you diagnose. So right now we're in the exploration and diagnosis, and then once we get the issue, then we'll work on the cure, right? So let me get caught up with some of your comments. So let's see. Here's Melissa changing. Oh, wow. Oh, Mary Ross is in that area. Yeah, you already knew that. You guys are all over it. Okay, it looks like several of you are feeling this. Thank you, Liz. Appreciate it. Good to see you in here tonight. Um, yeah, and I checked in with some folks, and I found that I was, like, well, that's interesting, Kimberly. That's interesting. Um, maybe so. I've thought about that, Melissa. I have. I've thought about that for sure. So part of the intending tonight is that we will experience this exactly how we say we are going to experience this. There's a lot of energy changing right now. We end up going up to the end of the month. We've got Venus in this square to Pluto. We have a very powerful eclipse coming in April. It's kind of like boom, boom, boom. So, what do we do with this? And how do we set our intentions of how we are going to experience it? Well, the first thing is to be in a clear space. Now, here's what I'm going to be doing this week. And I was going to invite you to consider playing with me on this. It would be a fun little game. I am going to muscle test or intuitive test or however you come up with inside answers. Everything. Everything. I've been doing it today since I typed this out earlier this afternoon. I'm going to test food. I need to lose some weight ahead of Fred's seminar. I'm testing food. Will this help me lose weight? Yes or no? Try to get to yes or no questions. Places. Should I go to this place or not right now? Is this place my highest timeline kind of place? This group of people, should I spend time with them now? Is it my highest timeline to join in this group activity? Yes or no? Clothing. This one came up very interesting. I had, excuse me, I've been onto this for a while. I forget, seems like it was back in Dallas. Energy of clothes. Natural fibers emit higher energy. And I'm in the middle of narrating a book for Fred, and he talked about this from a different twist perspective. That there was a test done on this, but it was related to electromagnetic conductivity of our body that is blocked when we're wearing synthetic clothes, and it's more open when we're wearing natural fibers. Now, what's been tested is muscle tested, energetically tested. Wool and linen are the highest energy clothing. And then next is organic cotton, and then cotton below that. So what Fred was saying is he wiped his wardrobe of all the polyester, got all cotton, everything as much as he could, and felt better. So I've been trying to do that. I have very little polyester in my closet. Try to get natural. So that was just one of the things that if you're buying some clothes, you might want to muscle test around it. Is this clothing, is this item of clothing going to give me the highest possible vibration? And then all of the things that we do like music, TV, online, etc. Is this the highest timeline activity for me right now? Is this the best music for me right now? Electronics. I was talking to Chet earlier this afternoon. He was saying that entities can come in through electronics. Is there a portal in my computer that could allow something in that I don't want in my space? Books, etc. You get the idea. But the reason I'm doing this is to not play by a set of rules, not feel judged, not to miss something that, I might say, no, I'm not going to do that. Oh, but that would actually be the best thing for me to do. So, the head versus the heart thing, right? Not analyzing with the head, but feeling into it. What is best for me right now? So getting into a clear space, making sure that what you're doing, what you're surrounding yourself with, what your influences are the highest vibration. And then the process that we talked about last week, you can use the language, I am so happy and grateful that, ... Or you can say the command like we did earlier, in the name of the highest source, or in the name of God, in the name of Jesus, in the name of Spirit, in the name of Yahweh, in the name of the universe, I intend or command or instruct. So you could say, in the name of highest source, I command $3,100 and a little bit more into my bank account, just like Brenda, this week. That actually felt pretty good, didn't it? I hope you joined me in that one. In the name of Yahweh, I intend $3,000 and a little bit in my bank account this week. If the universe is handing out $3,000, I'll take mine. In the name of God, I co-create with God $3,000 in my account this week. In the name of the universe and all the power of interconnectivity and consciousness, I intend $3,000 this week. Lots of ways you can do that, but that's the verbiage. You can also express, I am so happy and grateful that $3,000 miraculously found its way this week into my bank account. I just love that story. Just showed up with a note. I love it. Man, see, when you stay in this is why I'm so passionate about all this staying clean, staying pure, because I want you to be a channel to receive this. All right, now after you've done that creating, you can do a ceremony if you wish. That could be anything. You could journal, you could do a little altar, you could sage, you could, I don't know, crystals, etcetera, right? You could do a little ceremony, sure. Symbolic and powerful. And then this is from Greg Braden's Pray Rain. Then you give thanks to that source power for the ability to co-create. So you're standing as a co-creating equal with the power source. You give thanks for the ability to co-create, not for the fulfillment, for the ability to create. Because if you're a creator, you really don't have to give thanks for what you do naturally. That would be like saying, I am grateful that I can breathe. Well, that's something to be grateful for, but it's something that we as humans do. When you say, I am so grateful that I am a co creator of the universe with the universe, it's an amazing, just an amazing feeling. And then get busy on something else. Don't fester with it. Don't need it. Don't want it. Don't indulge in it. Well, you can make a vision board. Sure. Stick it up on the wall. Absolutely. If you want a new car, you bet. You want to be cancer free? Sure. Put an image up. Put the image up over your bed, and it might even be stronger. They say what you put up over your bed, like your headboard, manifests. Sleep as you're in the astral, as you're out of your body, sleeping. You can try that. Sure. But just don't sit there and dwell on it all the time. Get busy with something else. Big, big, big manifesting secret right there. Now, when it shows up, this was what we were doing first tonight. Gratitude, say thank you as instantly as you can. I've been playing this game with myself of trying to make the time between the fulfillment and giving thanks as close to 0 as possible. Like, do it instantly, do it immediately. And then it will become a habit and a practice. And then as you say thank you to anything and everything you can think of, say thank you to your spouse, to your partner. Say thank you to waiters and waitresses, service people who help you get things that you go out into the market to get, clerks who take your money. Um, thank them. Thank them for being in that position. Thank them for working on a Saturday, whatever it is, but just be gushing with saying thank you. What that does, obviously, is it creates, um, it is so true. I have had more success after gratitude. So thanking God and source for the fulfillment, thanking others, thanking yourself. It's like, hey, thank you for being in the space. Thank you for playing this game. But the point is, try to get to where we do it immediately. That's a really big deal. That's a game changer. All right. Let's join up here in hey Robin. Yeah. Absolutely. Yep. Linen and cotton. That's perfect. Let's join together. Now, I know we haven't dropped intentions in and it is getting late here. So let's just, if you want, you can type in your intention and just stick it in here if you'd like to make it on the chat here, and I'll try to go through and pop them up. There's that dance between I'm going to keep it here until it manifests versus I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it out there that I'm going to manifest $3,000 for every one of us. It's like I say, if the universe is handing out 3 grand, well, here's a good group. Um, but seriously, if you'd like to drop something in here, go right ahead and put your request, 1, 2, or 3, just very quickly. But while we're just settling in here, and we're going to basically just join our energies together, and let's settle into the group feeling that has become so bonded with this group of people. So we're thinking of each other. Because I will tell you this, and there's actually a verse in the Bible that supports this. Group energy, group like-minded intention is very powerful. It's more powerful than you and I can do on our own. And we can be very powerful, but when it's in a group and the group is like-minded, it's incredibly powerful. So settle in and think of others in our group, others who you have gotten to know over the last year and a half, others whose journeys you have been aware of, who's in the room tonight, whose names have come up, and others whose names have not. And think of our group as one tight entity. I love to we've got a beach scene up tonight. I love to think of all of us on a beach. There's what, 50 something people in here tonight. One big circle holding hands on a sunset on a nice warm beach. We are in shorts. We're not uncomfortable. Everybody who's in cold weather tonight is all of a sudden warm. It's not too hot. There are no bugs. It's like this wonderful environment. Actually, we've gone over to see Arnaldo in Spain, is what the deal is. We're all over there, and it's just awesome. And we're all together. See, we can travel in this group just like that. Boom! All of a sudden, we're over there in Spain, and we're holding hands. And the reason we're together is to support each other in lifting our intentions up to their fulfillment. Level up is now manifest up, basically. So, as you bring your intentions, and just pop some up here. So we think of these. And the ones that we don't see. Mostly we are now supporting each other's individual intentions, all for our highest timeline. And as you think of yours now, Pick your primary intention. And see it fulfilled. Still in a circle, still holding hands, still supporting, still together. Keep that energy tight among us. See your first intention, second intention, third intention. See it fulfilled. Feel it fulfilled. And now take a minute that if there is something you can command, go ahead and command it now. In the name of the Most High, I command the cancer to leave my body now. In the name of the Most High, I command, and then fill in your own blank. Let's play with a little something in our mind here. We're holding hands, we're in a circle on the beach. Before the meeting, we built a little altar of rocks on the beach in the sand. Picture now each of us, one at a time, walking up to that altar and setting our intentions on it. So one person comes up to the altar, another comes up, go back, another comes up. Only takes a minute. But we all walk up to that altar so that now all of our intentions are there together. Now we tighten our circle up as we come back to position. Feel this now, really feel this. So that we are shoulder to shoulder. I mean, we are snugged up together to the person next to you. First of all, it's a really good feeling, that closeness with like-minded souls. But we've also really closed in our circle. So we're tight around this altar. And now we put our arm around the shoulders of the person next to us. So our circle is bound by touch, by intention, by energy. We've cleared the space. We've uninvited things that would interfere. And now together we each look at that altar and we softly say, in the name of the Most High, I command these intentions to fulfill now. We say, I am so happy and grateful now that all of these intentions are already fulfilled. We say together, in the power of being a co-creator with Source, with the universe, I intend that all of these requests on the altar are now fulfilled. mine, and all of the others. And feel the incredible energy and feeling it would be for every intention on that altar to be fulfilled. Feel the joy, feel the laughter, hear the laughter, feel your neighbor turning cartwheels in the grass because their wish is fulfilled. And now, thank Source, thank God, thank Yahweh, thank the universe, thank highest source for the privilege, for the honor, for the magnitude of being able to co-create our reality. Thank you. Thank you for making me like this. Thank you for the discovery of this. Thank you for the practice of this. And thank you for being my partner in this creation. And you say, it is done. And you rest as though it were fulfilled completely. And the last thing we do together, of course, is give each other a great big hug energetically. And so it is. And then we start to focus our thoughts on that it's already complete. So it's going to be wonderful to hear about your fulfillments in the Facebook group. And yes, I did catch up with Mary this afternoon, and there's a really good report going on there. It's day by day, but incremental positive progress. As you know, Mary's daughter, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, attempted suicide. Mary had a intuitive prompt to go home. Something wasn't right. Found her, was able to save her life, and that now they're in the restoration part, and some miracles are happening around it. In fact, she shared that as needs have arisen, the provision for those needs has also arisen at just the same time. So it's she's using and practicing all of this with her daughter, and her name is Colleen. If you'd like to send Mary and Colleen a prayer, their family would absolutely appreciate it, for sure. Thanks, Mary. Appreciate it. Thanks for keeping us up to date. Wasn't that incredible energy, Liz? You could feel it, right? You can't lose going to the beach, especially at temperate, moderate weather. All right. These are great. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I love what we're doing with Level Up Now, just bringing these manifestations and intentions, and it's just going to get more and more powerful. And as whatever the world does, whatever goes on in the world, we are going to intend for ourselves how we are going to experience it. So let's don't be reactors. Let's definitely um, Wow. Let me see if I can see who that is. This is Heidi. Wow, Heidi. You are most welcome. You are most welcome. Thank you, Robin. You're welcome. Love this gratitude. Love the gratitude. Love, love, love. Yeah, this is amazing. This is what we're going to be doing. And we can play with this and we can up our game. And, you know, things are going to happen in the world. They always have. That was one of the things as I built that list. Even Jesus said there will be wars and rumors of wars all the way through. And that's just part of Earth. That's part of being here. But we have an ability to create our reality through and in spite of what's happening around us. That's the difference. That's the difference. We create it, and then we don't have to react to it. So whatever happens here, whatever happens there, will already be set. So thank you, Stephanie. This is great. Thank you all so much. This is great, great, great. I love you guys more than you ever, ever, ever know. And thank you for being a part of this. And we've got a lot of energy this week. So let's just go out there now with our intentions in place. Our vibe is high. So on we go. We're going to lead the charge into higher consciousness on planet Earth. I'll see you tomorrow for the Fun Astrology podcast, where we walk through the natal chart. The moment that the sun moves into Aries tomorrow, we read the chart. And I will tell you, it's an interesting chart. And it starts with a Virgo rising sign. So that means that has to be some, earth and stability and organization as a part of this ingress into Aries. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Love you guys. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you next Sunday night. Namaste.